Boy, do we need it. When you look at just this year alone, we're at a deficit of over 2 inches, and we're going to put a dent in that, definitely from today's rainfall. Right now, all of the activity pretty much covering the entire county. A lot of those yellows are heading out and right now into Orange County. Most of us just dealing with the light to moderate showers. Darker green coming now throughout Oceanside if you're traveling that way along I-5. It does look like you're going to be seeing those windshield wipers remaining on, traveling from Encinitas all the way to Oceanside. Further down south, we're continuing to watch the heavier rain out over toward it looks like Bay Park. You'll see some of that darker green as well. Mission Beach having some of the yellow coming in right now. Lighter rainfall, though, in the forecast heading out over toward Mira Mesas. All this activity generally is pushing off to the northeast. Continuing to pull down south, Chula Vista, you're seeing the lighter rain now, but you can see heavier rain out over toward San Ysidro. That's going to begin to come to your area most likely in about the next, I'd say, 15 to 20 minutes. We continue to watch for heavy rain out over toward the deserts, and with that, a flood advisory remains in effect until later on this evening. Coming up, we'll take a look at your hour-by-hour rain forecast for when the rain will take a break. Guys. Your kite's pretty much rainproof because we're dealing with a lot of the shower activity coming on down, and we're not moving out over toward Chula Vista. When I take a broader look, though, watch what's still happening out over toward the Pacific. We still have all of this that's going to continue to train into the region tonight and even on into early tomorrow morning. Right now, though, when we take a look outside in San Diego, we are stuck in a cloud, folks, and it looks like it is fairly gray and drizzly, 74 degrees. Dew point is at 69. When we get to 70, that's what it feels like in Florida, where it's almost just completely oppressive. So we're pretty much there. Wind speeds are fairly calm with the rain that's coming on through. Out into La Mesa, their temperatures not showing up here right now, but I do know that values are a little bit warm for us at this time of year. Very sticky, very muggy, and dealing with torrential downpours at times, in part due to two systems. The first one hanging just off our coastline. This one is producing that clockwise flow or counterclockwise flow that's pulling up some moisture that's from the remnants of tropical depression pain. And as a result, we're starting to get some of that wraparound tropical air in place. And that's what's leading to our heavy downpours and showers that are not only forecast to continue tonight, but even on into early tomorrow morning. This is one computer model's thought. By 5 o'clock, look how it has a band of rain moving through Carlsbad and Del Mar. I think it's going to be a little bit more active, and we're really going to start to see the extent of the action heading further out over toward the northeast. By the evening hours, I say we'll see about a 50% chance of rain by 5 p.m. Once we get to 11 p.m., I would still put a 20% chance of rainfall here. We're not completely done with it yet, so Ramona and Lakeside, I think you'll still see some of the action. Even tomorrow morning, I'd put a 10% chance of precipitation. By noon, we're now looking at the mountains. That's where most of the action will be held. Mostly cloudy skies. Temperatures are going to stay warm, but not for long. Details on a cool down coming up in the next half hour. Guys.
All right, Sabrina, thank you so much.
I'm really getting it and picking up quite a lot of it. Palomar has been the winner so far in our region, picking up about 8/10 of an inch. Alpine close behind around 6,400. La Mesa over a quarter for you, and La Jolla almost 1/10 of an inch of rain. For me, I saw a lot of the gray skies, had to drink lots of hot chocolate. You might have to still drink that hot chocolate. Rain continues to come on down. This is a current look at the radar. You can see pretty much the entire county is covered in a lot of the green. There's not a lot of yellow out there, so I've searched really hard to find where we're dealing with a little bit more moderate rainfall. Just to the south of Escondido, coming down at almost 2/10 of an inch an hour. There are activities heading out to the northeast, so starting to exit I-15 if you're traveling that way. Also further to the south, continuing to watch the moderate rainfall headed out over toward Rancho San Diego. You can see right now it's right around La Presa, and that's about 17 inches in 1700ths of an inch an hour. And also continuing further to the south, noticing Imperial Beach dealing with a moderate shower, also out over toward Cockatoo Grove. We will continue to deal with rain for us this evening and in fact into early tomorrow morning, and with that we could end up seeing rainfall totals closing in on over a quarter of an inch or close to that into downtown San Diego. The same scenario through Poway. Coming up, we'll take a look at your 70 forecast, which has a cool down and even a warm up. Guys. Today at around 10 a.m., temps were already up to 77 degrees out into downtown. Now you're looking at about 74. But it still doesn't feel like that because it is just so muggy and humid out there. Still looking at about 73 degrees currently out over toward Poway. That's the same number for you into Fallbrook, as we're all dealing with mostly cloudy skies. This is a look at the radar from the last 3 hours, and notice how intense the action has gotten. Now most of the heaviest activity looks to be just off to the east of I-15, heading out over toward the mountains and even into the deserts. A broader look continuing to show how wide that rain continues to stretch out into the Pacific, with all of it heading to the northeast. I did receive a report out over toward Hakumba that they just saw a lightning strike, most likely in the last 5 minutes. So we are dealing with a few thunderstorms potentially for us the rest of the evening, although the threat of that really down to just about 5%. Broad look across the country because we're not the only ones dealing with the rainfall. Also heading out toward Minneapolis, they're under a flooded watch where they could actually see 2 to 5 inches of rainfall. And let's not forget the reason for our moisture is all because of tropical depression pain. Boy, it's fallen apart quite greatly. You can't even see the spin. We're not dealing with any of those tall orange clouds. Nonetheless, it's still about 200 miles away from making landfall sometime Wednesday morning for the Baja Peninsula. Still forecast to bring them around isolated 6 inches of rainfall, but generally speaking 1 to 3 inches, and up into the U.S. with all that moisture, 1 to 2 inches of rain from Southern California all the way through around New Mexico. 7-day forecast, isolated morning showers tomorrow going for 80 degrees. By the time you get to Thursday, we start, and you are going to see more sunshine on Thursday. Let's look at your 7-day forecast. Guys, over to you.
So after all the rain